All right, welcome, writing fam. Okay, so today is Kauffman Writes, day 166, consecutive daily writing live stream, day 197. As you can see, the stream today is not produced. So something that I'm going to start trying differently because I want to be able to create more of like a casual writing live stream experience on one of the days. Mondays always seem to be my more like getting ready for the week, setting up my goals for both my writing business and for my writing stream itself. So starting moving forward on Mondays, I'm not going to be producing the stream at all. What that means is it's just going to be very casual. Come hang out with me and write for the day. Come hang out with other writers. If you want to just come hang out and chill. I am not going to be planning out the writing sprints. So this really works well if you want to just come chat with other writers. Nothing crazy. I'll return back tomorrow. I'll start moving forward with having the Tuesday and Thursday streams, continuing to be more produced with more background, more labels. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So Mondays will be I'll also save Mondays for updates. Today I have an exciting update. I'm like so stoked. We have such a cool update today. Today is going to be the official launch. Hey, what's up, Mary? Welcome, my friend. So today's going to be the official, the completely brand new official. I haven't even said it that many times yet. I was like, I don't like the color. Let's go. All right, we'll go like a gold color. So today will be the official launch of the rebrand from Kauffman's Corner to WriteNow. I'm currently working on finishing up the banners and the social media stuff for it. Let's see. Let me show up my screen. All right. We'll just throw that up. So as you can see, right now I just have the WriteNow my schedule for the week. So this is what we're going to be focused on. These are all the streams that I have set for this week. As you can see, I got, let's go. Oh, nope, too much. All right, this is where we're at. So as you can see, today I'm going to keep today very casual. Tuesday and Thursday will be the Kauffman Writes stream that where I'll set the normal writing sprints and I'll package it like I do usually. Wednesday, we're going to be starting a brand new segment. So let's see, and I'll get to that in just a second. So we'll chat about the new WriteNow update in just a moment. But as you can see, Friday, I'll bring back my story time segment. I'm probably going to try a new story this week. I'm bouncing back and forth between reading classic novels or doing something that's a bestseller. I haven't decided what yet, but based off of just like the last couple storytime segments, it feels like that based off what you've wanted, it seems to be more like newer stuff or maybe starting at the beginnings of books. So if there's a story that you want me to read through, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I will be posting. I'm going back and forth on what I want to read through this week. So we'll see. And then, of course, Saturday is our storytime segment. So if you need critique and if you need feedback on your writing, your stories, if you need feedback on your storytelling or your writing, the Saturday show is awesome. It's fire. I will do a live reading of it and a live critique. And you will get absolutely incredible feedback from the WriteNow community. So definitely worth submitting. If you want, let me throw this in the chat. If you're wanting feedback on your story, shoot me an email at kaufman@the-creative-ghost.com. I might create a submission link for it soon to make the process a little smoother. And then Sunday, we're going to be hosting the podcast, the Create Right Now podcast. Of course, this last Sunday's podcast with the writing collaboration team was super fun. I had such a great time chatting with Rachel and Dawn. That was awesome. Make sure that you go check out that stream from yesterday if you missed out. But this Sunday, let's see, we have the guest scheduled. What are we at? So we're in July 21st. Ooh, awesome. So we're actually going to be doing having a writer on where we're going to be chatting about writing through a disability. So this is going to be a really unique episode. It's going to be very special where we're going to be chatting about how do you publish a book? How do you create your story when you're working through major disabilities in your life that really set you back? So this is going to be a really powerful episode, and I'll release more information in the days to come. So that's the schedule for the week. It's going to be, should be super chill, super fun. And then the announcement. So this week we're rebranding to WriteNow. I'll be changing the socials shortly once I finish the WriteNow banner for the social headings. Now, with the launch of WriteNow, I'm going to be doing something super cool for the writing community. So with the new WriteNow rebrand, I'm going to be officially launching the WriteNow Writers Group. What that means, starting moving forward on Wednesdays, and this is something that I'm going to test out over the next 2 months to see if it's effective and see if you, the viewer, and you're the writer, want to actually join in the experience. Starting on Wednesdays, every Wednesday will be a WriteNow Writers Group live session. So what that means, if you want to be involved in the WriteNow Writers Group, all you have to do is you just have to let me know, say hi if you're here in the chat, just drop a comment if you want to be involved in the WriteNow Writers Group. What that means is every Wednesday's stream will be an open invite to other writers for them to come hop on the stream with me and for us just to write together. We'll chat about writing. And what I've done is I've managed, I've started, and I've been a part of multiple writers groups throughout the last 10 years. What I want to do is I want to bring that to a live format. And how that will work out is essentially writers will be invited to hop on the stream with me, and writers we'll talk about writing, like super casual, nothing planned, just whatever writing topics or trends seem come to mind. We'll do some writing sprints together, and then maybe some writing games. So writing writers groups are so much fun, and it's a great source of motivation. And I wanted to create a space where if you are ever struggling to write and you come join our WriteNow Writers Group, it gives you that motivation of like, hey, I got to show up. I got to at least get the writing down for the once a week, right? So this is great for those of you who when you might be at a point in your life where like, hey, maybe it's a tough week. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes there's months where we're like on point, writing every day, every other day, and we're fire, and then life happens, right? So this is for those of you who are wanting motivation and want to be involved in the experience. So if you want to be involved, either drop a comment or shoot me an email. And starting on Wednesdays, any member of the WriteNow Writers Group will be invited and will receive an invite link Wednesday mornings. Let me repeat. Any member of the new WriteNow Writers Group will receive an invite link every Wednesday morning. Now, to be part of the Writers Group, it's not mandatory to hop on the stream. Of course, I think it makes it a little bit more interactive so we can actually talk through writing things. But if you want it, hopping on the stream is going to be optional. If you want to hop on the stream with me, it just means that you can get to be involved in part of the conversation. You, of course, as always, will always be able to hop on the stream and be able to partake in the being off camera and just being able to type and join us in the chatting and the conversation. But that's going to be the special things about Wednesdays. I will be shooting out emails shortly. If you are subscribed right now to my newsletter, The Art of Writing, I'll be shooting that out to all my recipients. If you've ever submitted a story, you'll probably receive that as well. I know I've been a little behind by about a week on including some of my new recipients. So awesome. Thank you, Mary. Hey, what's up, Eli? I was just chatting about the new writers group. Since I'm rebranding to the WriteNow brand today, I'm launching a new WriteNow writers group, and I would love to. I'd love to invite you guys to the group. It will be super cool. I'll be sending out more details shortly. So that's super cool. Awesome. And now with that, so that's the schedule for the week. I'll be throwing it up on social shortly. And with that out of the way, let's get some writing done. All right. So I'm curious, for those guys who are here, Mary, Eli, what are your guys' writing goals for the week? And this is something that I always like to start off with when I'm starting on my week. I'm like, okay, what are my writing goals? So for those of you who know, like I am about, man, where was I last at? I wasn't able to get too much work done on my story the last couple of days. Let's see, I want to say I'm at about 124. I think I'm actually at 125,000. And I'm probably at about 85% with my story, Last Scarecrow. So let's drop that. I don't need the daily writing sprint right now. I'm just going to go Last Scarecrow. Perfect. Beautiful. I want that to be a little, yes, less yellow. There we go. Perfect with that. And let's see, we don't need that right now. I'm going to pull up my writing software like usual. And I think about, okay, so what are my goals for Last Scarecrow this week? Of course, like I'm at that point where I really want to finish. I really want to finish Last Scarecrow. Like, oh, I really want to finish it. I feel like I can finish off Last Scarecrow within the next couple weeks. I think over the past couple weeks, I thought I could, but I was like, clearly I planned a little too much. I didn't give myself enough time to actually write what I wanted to. For those of you who were here yesterday, I read through a section of my story, which was one of the first major reveals of the ending. So like I was super proud of it. Definitely make sure, not yesterday, at the end of the story and critique show on Saturday. So that was very exciting. I had a lot of fun with that. Okay, awesome. Let me pull up my writing software and we will get started. Okay, awesome. So let's see where we're at. Let's see, Eli. Working on planning the world building for my story, making decisions on the timeline and what's going on in the background in the world. World building is always a lot of fun. I love world building. And I know your story is much farther along too, actually, isn't it? Let's see how far. I want to say, because we had just read chapter 2 over the weekend. How far along are you in your story? Like, have you finished the full rough draft of it? I know we were chatting about. I know we were chatting a little bit over the weekend in the live stream, but I forgot to ask how far along you were in the process. It's super cool. I'm like so intrigued by your world, Eli. It's like I think after seeing the contrast with chapter 2 and seeing the contrast with the theme and the vibe with the character dynamics of chapter 1 and then chapter 2, I'm really intrigued, because then that tells me like, okay, we're going to be getting two very distinct worlds crossing over. And like I'm such a fan of your title, and it just makes me more intrigued of like, interesting. So it's like how is that going to like connect? And I'm so intrigued. And I think the bigger we make the worlds, the more like decisions we have to make, right? The more we have to figure out like, okay, this is what I want to go on in the background. Let's see, Mary. Actually, I did a reread of it all and made a ton of notes. I need to make some changes so the future chapters make sense. My chapters are a little light anyway. That's cool. I need to make some changes so future chapters make sense. Yeah, well, I mean, that's really good. That's good that in your rereads that you're catching a lot of the things that need to be fixed, because then that makes it easier as you're going forward. Um, I I always go back and forth on like how much that I should actually fix as I'm editing it. And I think this comes down to knowing yourself as a writer, Mary. What never want to happen with writers is I don't want, and I'm not saying this is you, but this is just what I see with a lot of writers in general. What I see happen with a lot of writers, and this happened to me in the past before, so that's why I get it. They'll get really motivated in their story, and they'll get really focused on it, and they'll have so much fun with building out the world, the ideas, the concept, the characters, and all that. They start writing it, they do really good. They go through the first chapters, they go through the halfway mark of the book. Maybe they get really far into that, or maybe they'll even get to the rough draft. And then life gets crazy, and then they're not able to continue and stay consistently with them. So then they end up getting burnt out, or they get unmotivated for whatever reason. And I think that's one of the reasons why I try to say make the writing process as easy as possible. And balancing editing and balancing writing is always that fine point, right? If you go back and you spend too much time editing, then you're taking away from the storytelling aspect of it in the moment. But if you spend too much writing and you don't do any editing, then you're potentially falling into obstacles and pitfalls as you're developing the story. So I think it's always that balancing act of knowing how much to change without disrupting the overall flow of your process. And the thing that's always like the challenge I face. I mean, you've seen in my writing style with Last Scarecrow, right? I always reread the last section that I'd written, but and I'll usually make minor technical changes. If there's any bigger changes I need to make that are more focused on like character development, world building, or anything that might pull me away from the moment of writing, then I make a note and I add it to the list of like things to fix on the second draft. So those are just my thoughts on editing and revisions. But granted, also Mary, like I know in the last couple of chapters I've seen of yours, I'm continue to be really impressed at how much the story's growing. I'm absolutely loving the story between what is it, Danessa, Jasper, Danessa, and Gareth. I'm very intrigued by those three characters. Oh, and the old lady. The old lady's funny. I really hope the old lady is like a maybe like a wizard, not a wizard, like some type of like witch or like prophet type character. Oh man, what was one of my favorite epic fantasy stories? I don't know if you've heard of it, Mary, but it was the Sword of Truth series, one of my favorite epic fantasy. Sword of Truth by Terry Goodkind. It was one of the wizard characters in it is like a crotchety old man. And he's like hilarious. But he's hilarious because he's a crotchety old man, but he's the mentor character and he's just very well established. I think that's one of my favorite like old man wizard characters. Now, of course, we know Gandalf from Lord of the Rings is stereotypical old man wizard. Yeah, that's what comes to mind. Let's see. Eli. Oh, far from it. I've conceived of the story as the journeys of three main characters: Zikung, who we've met, Roger, who we meet much later, and Maxine, who meets Zikung in his second chapter. Oh, that's really interesting, actually. Eli, I'm really intrigued then why what the intent is, or how the twins dynamic ties into the overall plot. Because I actually assumed that one of the twins was going to be one of the main characters. But I mean, it's so early on. I mean, my guess is they're probably in some way and this is just a guess. But my guess is that the twins then are in some way, shape, or form. They're either one of them is either a love interest, or they're related to either the world building or the plot as it pertains to either Zikung, Roger, or Maxine, which is very intriguing. I'm even more intrigued. I'm like, ooh. So are the twins supporting characters then? The three main character arcs will interact with each other, but they start and end in different spots. So I planned Zikung's arc on the highest level. Roger is 50% on that level, Maxine 10%. Okay, well, that's super cool. And it sounds like you've done like so much development and so much weaving between all of these major characters, which sounds really fun. And three predominant characters also seems to work really well. But then I was thinking of three main characters as like a 3 act structure. I'm like, okay, one character act one, focus on the other character act two, focus on the other character act three. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's just what it reminds me of. That's awesome. Well, we know that we love Zekung for sure. I want to see more Zekung. Still working on new chapters as well. It does work for me. Beautiful, beautiful. Actually, I have a character like that coming up, but it wasn't her. Ooh, so you have another like old man mentor character. Eager to read more. Character old man mentor wizard type characters are fun. The question I was asking myself is how do we make them different than what's been done before? It's always my challenge to myself personally with my writing. She'll be like a secondary character who revolves around the antagonist. Ooh, interesting. Okay, interesting. So she's yeah, I mean I guess that actually makes sense then. If it's more focused on her character's more focused on an obstacle um to the heroes, then that actually makes total sense. Makes complete sense then. That's very, very cool. Hmm. Yeah, I'm even more intrigued because right now, like both those the twins are set up as it seems like they're set up as good characters, so to speak. So I'm very, very intrigued. It's almost like seems like you're the antagonist will have some sort of like love dynamic. Oh my goodness. I'm like my story. I'm like I'm still like so like that last section that I wrote with the Scarecrow and the Demon. I feel like I've just been doing I feel like the last couple of days I've been doing more editing than writing as an unintentional result of the live streaming experience. But I really want to finish the story. I'm like super motivated. Man, okay. So wow, I'm about to get like some I guess like some type of some flashbacks. Kind of. Kind of. I don't want to pull this out of the present moment too much. Let's see. Let's see. My story is sort of a 4 act. Okay. So Roger will enter in chapter one of Act Two. Zekung will be out of story at end of Act Three. They sort of mirror each other in a way, and Maxing is like a critique of them. Hmm. Interesting. So then Roger's it almost seems like Roger's going to be more of like thematic what's the right word? And he said it's going to be out of story and back three. They sort of mirror each other in a way, and Max seems like a critique of them. And so that makes me think then that like since Roger's entering in Act 2's usually when the fun and games of stories tend to start, so to speak. So that makes me think that Roger's at heart going to be another not foils, not the right word, but another maybe like another like thematic version, another thematic tone or character arc that resonates in some way, shape, or form Zikung and what Zikung is dealing with. Hmm. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm definitely even more intrigued now. I really want to know more about the world. I've loved this between like all the sci-fi elements that you got. I really want to know more. Canonus Interpretus. Ooh, good name. Good name choice, Mary. He is a foil of Zikun kinda, an inversion. Okay. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I was going to say foil originally too. Okay, what should I do? Let's go this one. I'll throw up some music for a little bit. What do I want to do? Yeah, and I think what's good about this is I'm not going to limit myself to a sprint today, so that way I can just write at a free flow and chat with you guys who are here in the live stream. Mary, I totally thought that was like a name. Yeah, so like for those of you who are watching the chat, I was kind of like as I'm getting close to the end of the novel, I'm starting to I know my head's starting to wrap more around along all the no, not the edit, the fixes. Like some of the things that I know I have to adjust as I'm going to the second draft. I know that I should be focused on finishing the first draft, but this is where my mind's at. So but it's also because I know I'm so close to the ending. I know I'll have the novel, the rough draft, finished in the next couple weeks. But that so that made me think, right? Because Eli, I know you were calling out the last scarecrow pronoun. I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right. So like I think during the first third, like I said, I'm only gonna rely on using the last scarecrow during the first act when he's still fresh to the world, and then transitioning to just a scarecrow as he develops his friendships with Pebble, Crow, and Gore. But it's making me wonder. I'm wondering if I introduced Gore a little too late into the novel, but it made me want to think like, okay, when do I actually introduce Gore? So right now I'm at 125,000 words. It's probably going to be might be 140,000 words when the rough draft is done, and I'll probably want to get it close to 100. But I actually have to like go back and like check. I'm like, when did I actually introduce Gore? I feel like I introduced him a little on the later side. Okay, all right. So I have to actually like think about this right now. So Crow was introduced in the very beginning. Crow was actually really the inciting incident for the most part. Crow was the inciting incident, but he was quote unquote introduced as a character in chapter 3. Trying to go here. I'm just like kind of curious as I'm thinking through. Where was Crow and yeah, oh my goodness. Oof, man. I'm like so excited to work on the second draft. It's funny. I'm like, I usually wouldn't recommend writers do this until they finish one draft. But clearly I'm just too excited right now. Last Scarecrow came out of his slumber with an ache deep in his head. How are you? I think that's Crow. How are you, Mr. Crow repeated? I know, WTC. That's the smart thing. You're like, why don't you just do like the smart thing instead of scrolling through the whole document? I'm like, Kauffman's old school. Clearly, Kauffman needs to update his his writing practices. Actually, like calling it out, WTC. For the second draft, I'm actually gonna be changing writing software to make the experience a little smoother for both myself and for all you guys. So I don't have to spend time scrolling. Like in a perfect world, what I should have done was I should have formatted each of the chapters in a way so I can just not hyperlink, but so I can hop so it's formatted through each chapter instead of just a long list. But that's where I'm at. So that's what part of the second draft will be, formatting it. And then it also makes it easier whenever when it goes to an editor and then when it's ready to be published as well. But that is actually a really good point. Let's go to Crow. Oh my goodness. 1,969 instances of Crow. All right, let's see. Where are we? Oh yeah, because of course Scarecrow, so it's going to look for and I don't Mr. Crow, I think 115. Yeah, I want to say that it's in chapter like 3 or 4. Many pairs of red blinking eyes. No, I think Crow's like introduced as a sidekick in chapter 5. Yeah, so Crow is introduced as a supporting sidekick in chapter 5, which right now is about 20 pages in. Okay, and then I introduce Pebble. Let's see. I feel really good about when I've introduced Crow and Pebble as Lesker Crow. 7. They meet Pebble after New City. Yeah, so I think I want to say that I introduced him around chapter. No, alright, here's the garden. The garden is when I introduced Pebble. So Pebble's character is really introduced at around chapter 9, I think it is. Chapter 13, when push comes to Pebble. Yeah, so Pebble is really introduced in chapter 13, around 87. Page 20, page 87. And then when is Gore? I want to say I introduce. Okay, so right now, Crow's really introduced as a character, page 20. And of course, like my font's all off. Like I'm gonna have to switch to a normal font. Eventually, it's more for the live stream. But for all intents and purposes, Crow is on page 20. Pebble is on page, what was that? Page 80. And then Gore is introduced. The pit. Yep, he's introduced. Gore is introduced in page 170. So 20, 80, and then 170. Chapters 5. What was that? 5, 12, and 20. And then out of what? I think the story is probably, 50 chapters? When I'm done, it's probably ends up by 54, 55. So I guess I'm kind of going... It could work. I'm thinking about okay, do I need to introduce him sooner? I need to think about it. Clearly a random writer's thought as I'm thinking about story development right now. Okay, yeah, that's a cool subtle touch. Yeah, you're referring to the last Scarecrow reference. I wrote the beginning of that chapter you read on Saturday. I started reading The Bloodchild by Octavia Butler. I've never read that, but I've heard that's really good. I've heard that's really, really good, and was inspired by our directness with world building. And you see, that's the amazing thing, right? When we find authors we really like, it's being able to kind of we learn and we take little things, and then we apply it into our own writing style, which is awesome. Yay! I'm glad it helped. I'm really glad it helped. I know we did a lot of back and forth and really trying to figure out the twins character, but that's awesome. I'm eager to see what the next draft and version looks like. Not Notepad. So WTC. So this is my strategy. So once I'm done with the rough draft, I'm going to reach out. Well, I mean, I should probably be doing that now. It's on my to-do list, but I'm going to be reaching out to different writing software companies. There's about 5 or 6 that are on my radar, and I'm either going to do some type of affiliate or see if I can do some type of partnership, because I need a transition. I want to migrate this whole story into a writing software, just as kind of like a test trial, because Microsoft Word is good. It's good for it being basically free, for it being cheap, but I think for a development, for me being able to develop everything on the stream, and this, I would love your guys' input. So for me being able to do a second draft on the stream, normally if it was just myself off of a live stream experience, I would be doing whiteboards. I'd be doing very old school ways with Word and probably taking a lot more time. I want to be able to speed up the process and make it more efficient. I'd love for you guys to join me in the journey, of course. But that's why I want to, I'm going to try a partnership with the writing software, because I need to find the right writing software where I can do a lot of that brainstorming and development on the screen. Because I want you guys as the community to be able to see what I'm doing. Of course, I could point a camera at a whiteboard, but it's just not going to be effective. So that's specifically one of the reasons that I'm going to transition to a specific writing software that has all the features of the character cards, the storyboarding, all the different writing development editing features in addition to the writing tool itself, because I want you guys to be as involved as possible, so that way you guys can learn from what I'm doing. I'm not perfect. It's just my own crazy strategies that work for me. Awesome. Let's see. It makes... Hey, what's up, LeMay? Welcome to the stream, by the way, my friend. Let's see. It makes sense to call him by his title, proper name with all the modifications, but once there are other characters, it makes sense to have the narration adopt the new familiar tone since others exist. Yeah, and Eli, you know what's actually really interesting? So I was actually really intentional. So throughout the first, 30% of the story, I referred to Scarecrow as the last Scarecrow, and he always calls... he calls Crow as Mr. Crow, and then he calls I'm gonna have him transition in the beginning to having him call Pebble as Miss Pebble using the proper titles. And when they are put through they're put through a shared dream sequence when they're in the middle of the swamp, and after they have the shared dream sequence, they get closer. And I never actually directly call it out, but he drops the names of calling the proper titles, and it's like it's intentional, small thing that I did, because I thought that would be a cool okay, so it shows them kind of getting closer at that part of the story. You mean something like World Anvil? I'm not actually sure what that is. I haven't heard of that one. I'm curious. What is World Anvil? World building tools. Join a vibrant community of storytellers. Show it up on the screen so you guys can see. World Anvil. Create your world, manage your campaign, plan your novel. Oh, well, that's super cool. Well, it is a set of world building tools that helps you create, organize, and store your world settings. I'll blow it up so you guys can see. Wiki articles, interactive maps. Interesting. So it seems like this is really clearly it's called World Anvil. So it's focused on the map, the world building aspect of it, and then I'm sure it does all the other things. Yeah, Eli, thanks for bringing this. Thanks for mentioning this. This is actually really cool. I'm going to I need to save this and check it out. Check it out more when I'm offline, probably. Let's go to. Perfect. I just added it to my list of things to check out because this actually looks super cool. I think in the second draft, I don't always do this, but I think I'm going to put a map together because this story calls for a map. Not every story requires a map, but I think with this world, because I think one of the missed opportunities right now in the rough draft is the characters. I feel like they're kind of traveling through kind of just very bare, basic environments. And I think I do a good job of making it feel unique in the first portion of the story. But then in the second act, I feel like it just has some opportunities. I'm like, they don't need to travel through a desert 10 times. They don't need to travel through a forest 10 times. And I haven't placed a focus on it yet because I know that's something I'm going to develop in the second draft. But I think I am actually going to put a map together. And I hadn't figured out what tool I was going to use for it yet. But this looks super cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out more, my friend. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Okay, so if you're looking for that, then I would say you can go with Pro Writing Aid. Yep, Pro Writing Aid is one. So Pro Writing Aid and AutoCrit are both writing software tools that are on my list. I have a combination of writing and editing tools. Yep. So those are two that are on my list that I'm planning on reaching out to, ones that I'm planning on testing out. AutoCrit has some good story analysis tools that are pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I see from an advertising perspective, I think I see AutoCrits the most out of the writing software. I think I've seen AutoCrit storytelling or program advertised the most at me on socials. Well, let's see. If you want to do a story Bible, then World Anvil is good. Let's see. I'm not going to do a story Bible. I haven't decided. I'm still WTC. I'm still kind of thinking through the process of how I want to, how I want. Usually I do each of the elements, the character developing, the world building, the dialogue opportunities. Usually I do each of them in separate sections. I'm still thinking through how I'm going to do it through a live format and how I'm going to format it. So I'm still kind of thinking through that because I have to balance all right, how do I focus the second draft of the story? And then how do I make it still visually appealing through the live stream? So let's see, there's specific novel stuff offered as well. I'm getting an idea of what you're looking for. Not recommending that one. No, yeah, no, I mean, I think that's actually really interesting because I think there's a world building because I know that I do need to put a map together. There might be an opportunity there. Let's see, I've heard of pseudo write before. I haven't heard of novel crafter. Want to incorporate AI into your planning and writing? Then I was just pseudo write or novel crafter. Yeah, I'm like, I would say, how much do I want to incorporate AI? I mean, that's another decision that I still have to make. I mean, clearly I've written this entire thing without AI, so I'm not worried about that at all. But I'm trying to think of like what development or how much I want to incorporate AI. I think in decisions. I think with AI, I imagine that probably each one of these writing softwares probably has an AI feature. My guess is that you're probably not going to be able to be a writing software that you can offer right now unless there is a feature that has an AI element to it. Because AI is so relevant, like every company has to develop an AI feature that can be turned on or off. Unless there's like a writing software that's specifically like, this is the AI writing software. I've used both and use AI for research, outline, and planning. It really is good for that. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, which is probably, I think one of my weaknesses is probably a word choice sometimes. I think I pulled back a lot in the most recent years. And I think as I've been kind of like going through this novel, and I think word choice is an opportunity for me in this story because I'm created so many different types of animals and I need to be able to accurately describe all the different types of animals that I've created, especially in the second act where there's a wide range of animals. So I'll probably definitely be using AI for some of the, for definitely the research and planning for sure. So that's some really great advice. Thank you. Let's see, where was I at? And by the way, if I'll pull myself back up real fast. If you're just hopping into the stream, so today is starting forward on Mondays. Monday's going to be my super casual writing live stream. I'm not going to plan or produce anything. Today's just going to be come hang out and we'll chat writing. I'm not even doing writing sprints. I'm just going to chat and write. But I will pull up my schedule again for those of you who are just jumping in. Where did it go? All right, here we go. So for those of you just jumping in, here's the my schedule for the week. Today is the official WriteNow rebrand. And I'll probably announce this a couple times, but starting on Wednesday, I'm going to be launching, it's going to be a test launch for the first couple of months of the new WriteNow Writers Group. So for any of you who are who need like motivation, or you want to be involved in a writers group for this community, I'm going to be launching it. If you want to be involved, either drop a comment and let me know or shoot me an email. I already have a couple interested already. What the writers group entails is it's going to replace the Wednesday live stream time slot. So it is still going to be a live stream segment, which any WriteNow writers group members will receive Wednesday mornings. They'll receive the invite to come hop on the stream with me. Now, you don't have to hop on the stream to be a part of the group. You could always, of course, just hang out in the live chat, absolutely. But the what we'll do in the writers group, I've been involved in many writers groups in the past 10 years. What we'll do is chat about writing. We'll do some writing sprints together, and then maybe writing games, depending on timing. So we're going to be starting that on Wednesday. I would love for all of you to be involved. Now, StreamYard limits me to having 10 guests on the screen at max. So it's going to be a 10 guest max, with the priority spots being going to paying clients of my creative ghost business. So I don't imagine it should be too difficult to get a spot in the beginning, but we'll see what the interest is like. So I'll be sending out an email. If you're subscribed to my the Art of Writing email list, or you've submitted to the Story and Critique Show before, you'll be receiving an email by end of day with more of the details. So more to come. All right, so I wanted to make sure I advertise that. All right, now clearly Kauffman's going down the rabbit hole today. All right, back to writing. Where was I at? And that is called, my friends, going on a 30-minute rabbit hole, writing rabbit hole. I didn't need to go on right now. Let's see, my books have a human protag, and his harem is going to be 2 elves, a pantherian, a kitsune, a tigran, an oni, a demon, and 2 human females. Well, that's really cool. I'm not actually sure what all those are. I know elves, I know kitsune, I know an oni, I think, demon obviously, and the females. I don't know what a pantherian or a tigran is. Well, that's really interesting. So it sounds like you kind of have a mix of a bunch of different like fantasy type races and cultures, which is super intriguing. That's really cool. Thing about having to come up with alt names for them, for the different animals I have throughout my story. Yeah, you know what? I consider that. I'm still going back and forth. I think there is something. Yeah, I'm still undetermined on that. I'm not sure if I want to be intentional with keeping characters by their name as an animal, or having characters specific names. I'm kind of going back and forth. That makes sense. For let's see, WTC LeMay. For those of you who are just hopping in the stream right now, by the way, where are you guys at on your writing goals for the week? Where's your storytelling? I feel like Monday I'm trying to start getting into this process of just casual writing stream, and us all setting like writing goals for the week. You guys know me. I want to finish Last Scarecrow if I cannot get distracted. Clearly I go on tangents. Okay. What are we at? All right, let's go. New writing mix. And feel free to keep chatting if you want. I'll switch to typing in the comments. Hey, what's up, writing fam? I saw a couple of new writers hop into the stream, so I figured I'd hop out and just say welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's say I saw some welcome over from Twitch. Hi, Cash. Good to have you over here, my friend. It's actually really cool that you're doing some writing from, it looks like from film school. You said you were writing about the boy who's living in a place where silver lining is not a thing. Ooh, that's actually really interesting. Where silver linings do not exist. So it seems like it's a very maybe like an underdog type character. That could be really fun. Could be really intriguing. What genre is it do you write in? And what's up, Vaughn? Glad to have you in the stream, my friend. Just had to drop in and say, dude, you're an epic performer. Thank you. Your YouTube channel is a total blast. Give a shout out from your days at Truckee. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the kind words. Really, really appreciate you. And welcome, especially because I know you're traveling, it sounds like, over in Europe right now. So thanks for coming in, joining the stream. Once again, we're keeping my Monday streams, writing streams super casual. Nothing crazy or nothing planned like I normally do with my produced streams later on in the week. And let's see, so we're approaching the hour and a half mark. I'm actually I'm in a good vibe with this part of the story that I'm working on. But for those of you who are just hopping into the stream, let's see, now's probably a good time to share again. So here's my schedule for the week. So today's going to mark the official rebrand of WriteNow. This is the WriteNow. I'm going to be rebranding the Kauffman's Corner brand to WriteNow, one word. These are the streams we're going to be having. Monday's going to moving forward as casual writing streams and update days. You can see that I have Kauffman Writes Tuesday, Thursday. We'll be returning with our normal storytime segment on Friday, and then the story critique show on Saturday. Make sure that if you need feedback on your story and you want either feedback or help with it, I do live readings and critiques on Saturdays. So make sure to shoot me an email or message me. And then Sunday, we're going to have a super exciting guest, and we're going to be chatting about how do you write with a disability. So it's going to be really cool. I'm super excited to look forward to Sunday's podcast episode, and more to come on that. And then with the official launch of the WriteNow brand, Wednesday, I'm going to be starting, and this will be a test for a couple months, the official WriteNow Writers Group. So if you are on my email list or you have submitted a story for the story and critique show, you'll be receiving an email shortly today with an invite to come join the WriteNow Writers Group. Will be every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So that would be 4 p.m. Pacific, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely let me know if you're interested in joining. You can come join in the comments, whether you just want to come hang out in the community chat, or you can come hop on with me and other writers who are part of the WriteNow Writers Group on the stream. If you're a part of the WriteNow Writers Group, you'll receive an invite to be able to hop onto the stream on Wednesday mornings. So that's super exciting. Every Wednesday, we'll chat about writing stuff. We'll do some writing sprints together, maybe writing games. So it's super, super cool. I'm so looking forward to it. Penelope, excellent. Thank you. I'll probably shoot you an email. I know you're the ones that's planning on reaching out to. But yeah, so for those of you, I'll be sending out some more details shortly. I need to finish up the banner for the WriteNow rebranding stuff, but I'll be hopping onto emails in just a little bit. So definitely super excited. That's going to be new. For those of you who've been with me the past, probably the past couple weeks, I've been talking about a writer's tool for the community. It's kind of in a development struggle right now. So it's still going to come. It's just taking me longer. So in the meantime, I want to do the WriteNow Writers Group, which is going to just be a really cool way for us to be able to interact and have some more interactivity on this as part of this community. So more to come. Definitely make sure you hop in Wednesday if you want to be a part of the WriteNow Writers Group, or if you just want to come say hi. So it will be super, super cool. Looking forward to that. And it's definitely going to be a little bit of an experiment the first couple months to kind of see how it feels and how it works out. Awesome. And so that's the schedule for this week. And I guess now's probably a good time if you're just hopping into the stream. follow, and subscribe. Clearly, I do writing streams every single day. Today is what, day 197 of consecutive writing streams. So I'm going strong with my year-long commitment to write and stream every single day for a year. If you are subscribed, you will be notified when I go live on YouTube, or if you're following, looks like today I have Twitch and Facebook, you'll be notified when I go live. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you have the bell notification checked, so that way you'll be alerted to each of my live streams. So definitely. Awesome. All right, beautiful. And then where am I? Mary, you were saying checked out for a bit, up to 5,800 plus words, 5 chapters. Ooh, great work. Great work, my friend. That's awesome. It always feels really nice when we're able to make like good, solid writing. Get some like good, solid writing in. Yeah, Vaughn, thanks for the heads up on those. I'll definitely be on the lookout. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's really sweet, Vaughn. I appreciate you, my man. Okay, so with that being said, I'm just going to continue on writing because I really want to finish this scene. I'm doing good on this vibe right now. Clearly, as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of a flashback with the first demon and a lot of the animals now that we've actually seen throughout the story. And let's see where...
hero song, destiny to see. Stand and rise, face the dark, light the skies, leave your mark. Eyes on the prize, heart beats hard, dreams to realize, played every card. The wind whispers brave, the stars guide the way, no soul left to save, time to make them pay. Eyes on the prize, heart beats hard, dreams to realize, playing every card. The wind whispers brave, the stars guide the way, no soul left to save, time to make them pay, time to make them pay. Stand and rise, face the dark, light the skies, leave your mark. The wind whispers brave, the stars guide the way, no soul left to save, time to make them pay. Leave your mark.
All right. Yes. Oh, I got to do that scene. I was super stoked at how that scene came out. Woo! All right. That was like one of three flashbacks that I'm doing right now. I was very happy with how that scene came out. Oh my goodness. It's like so deep into the story that probably takes me to about 86%. But the man, that was a flashback. I really intentionally wanted to show the first demon. So this is one of the first of three of the demon's memories, that shows a very early moment in the history when the animals, these different animal kingdoms, first converged to unify and try to attack the demon. So this is actually, I haven't specified, but this is probably one of the earlier instances of the nothingness. I love how it came out. There's definitely going to be some additional like details. Especially I know I have to add some better descriptions in the second draft with the different animal types, but I'm very happy with how it came out. Let's see, what's your book about? Hey, welcome to the stream, by the way, Keith. Glad to have you here, my friend. So it's called The Last Scarecrow. It is about let's see, I have like my summary because I say this so often. Where'd my summary go? I have like my easy blurb for it. Let's see, Last Scarecrow, a post-apocalyptic fairy tale about a scarecrow come to life, who journeys across a land riddled with animals, creatures, and beasts that are fading away into the nothingness at the hands of the first demon. That's the book blurb. That's like the little quick pitch. So that's the gist of it. Yeah, I mean, the main characters are the Scarecrow, the Crow, Mr. Crow, Pebble the Pixie, and then Gore the last grizzly bear. So those are the major characters. And do we know the name of the Scarecrow? We do not. That is actually one of the final reveals. The Scarecrow's identity is one of the final reveals of this section. So if I've revealed one of the major reveals, I definitely highly recommend, if you're here in the stream right now and you missed out on Saturday's Story and Critique Show, I actually read an excerpt of the last section I wrote, which was the first major reveal of the story, or the first major reveal of the climax, at the end of Saturday's Story and Critique Show, which was Story and Critique Show episode 22. So his name is Robert Paulson. Eli, how'd you know? That's Scarecrow's real name. It's Robert Paulson. Scarecrow Robert Paulson. There was this book I read as a teenager, talked about knowing the real name of things, and that's why I'm so intrigued about the Scarecrow's true name. Yeah, so it's more to come with the Scarecrow. Identity will be the last reveal. Right now, the Demon's Memories is we're actually. So I loved how that came out. I really wanted to show the nothingness. I really wanted to show that. This was an early instance of the nothingness. We're now going to hop into two more of the Demon's Memories. The next one is going to get closer to the Demon's origin. So we're actually going to see the Demon's true origin in the next two flashbacks. Which I'm calling them flashbacks, but it's not. This is a more of a result of the Scarecrow's magic, which the Scarecrow has a memory type magic, which is basically not necessarily causing the demon to remember, but it's basically the Scarecrow's reliving these memories now. So I'm really having fun with it. Oof. Cool story. Thanks, Desolate Reader. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've had so much fun developing Last Scarecrow. It has been such an incredible experience. As you can see, I'm 85. That has probably pushed me to 86% actually. With getting through this section is 86%. As you can see, I'm getting close. We've got I have two other major reveals of the story that are coming up in some chapters. Not chapters, but the sections that I'll be writing soon. So Awesome, Vaughn. That sounds super cool. It sounds like you're traveling around the world, my friend. Glad you're getting some good writing stories. So I feel really good about that. We got some great progress today. I'm very happy. Once again, if you're enjoying the stream and you just enjoy like this casual writing community, make sure you're following and subscribing, right? I do writing streams every day. Today is day 197 of consecutive writing streams. I will, once again, I'll pull up my schedule for the week one last time for those of you who are just hopping into the stream. This is the schedule for the week. We are doing some fun things. Today's the official launch of the rebrand to WriteNow. So that is the official rebrand. This is the WriteNow brand because I'm doing writing streams every day right now. And that's what makes sense. Wednesday is going to be the launch of the WriteNow Writers Group. So if you want to be involved in it's going to be a brand new weekly writers group where those members will be able to receive the invites to come join me on the stream. It's a live writers group. So it's going to be every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Simply drop a comment if you want to be involved or send me a message and I will send over the official details. If you are already subscribed to the Art of Writing newsletter or you have previously submitted to the Story and Critique Show, you will be receiving an email with more details in just a little bit. I am so excited. You don't have to hop onto the streams to be part of the writers group, but the Wednesday, the WriteNow Writers Group is a brand new thing that I'm doing. So I'm going to be testing it out for the first 2 months just to see how it feels. Priority is given, of course, to my paying clients of the Creative Ghost who have either previously or currently paying for writing services. It's gotta prioritize the money, of course. But like I said, there's 10 spots. So I don't think that should be too much of an issue right now. So my vision is that we have like a super casual, cool writers group on Wednesdays where other writers will hop onto the stream with me and we just talk about writing. We do some writing sprints together. And we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. So that's the WriteNow Writers Group. Hope to have all y'all involved. I know I've already had some interest in it, so I'll be shooting out some more emails shortly. Oh, that's not fun. There we go. So yeah, and that is what I got for you today, friends. I'm going to do this every Monday. Monday is going to be super casual. I'm not really going to create the banners or any of like the timers like I normally do. I'll return to the more like produced shows with my more studio setup tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. again. So 3 p.m. Mountain, 2 p.m. Pacific, 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. Eastern for my normal Kauffman Writes segment. We'll do writing sprints and kind of like this, but a little bit more structured. So awesome. I'll be back. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure that if you missed out on this weekend's fun stuff, let me see. Did I do the advertisement? Yeah. So make sure you go check out yesterday's podcast episode of the Create Right Now podcast, which was about publishing your book with a writing collaboration. I had a great chat with Rachel Adams and Don McClellan. It was really, really cool. It's on the podcast, the Create Right Now podcast on my YouTube channel, Kauffman's Corner, about to change to Right Now. So go check it out. And don't forget, tap the like button on your way out. Let me know that writing streams that you enjoyed this and help me show that writing streams are cool because this is what it's about. It's about creativity and about us just, putting good vibes as we embark on telling our stories. All right, my friends, thanks for joining me today. And that brings us to this part of the stream. Don't forget, I'll drop that. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kauffman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.